they offer me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay.
If I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
That
Yeah,
may
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
So an
let's,
automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good.
but
I
all
mean,
of those
an
things are not true.
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created.
You hear me?
Yes, I
Okay.
hear you.
So you're before the court on 2019 CR 04954 for driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license.
Welcome back, everyone. Today's clip features a wild court case involving a man stopped for driving without a license. But instead of admitting it, he insists he wasn't driving, just traveling, as if that somehow exempts him from traffic laws. He runs through every tired argument from the sovereign citizen playbook, clearly expecting the judge to just let him go. Honestly, the judge shows remarkable patience dealing with all of this. You can see people in the courtroom trying not to laugh. It's like watching someone try to haggle their way out of legal trouble, tossing around random legal terms in hopes the charges will vanish. Meanwhile, the judge is sitting there, calm.
Failure to display license, or failure to have license on person. I'm not sure, it cuts off. And no tag or expired or invalid tag. So that's on the first case. On the case from 2020, 03114, you have a suspended or revoked license. You're represented by Lister and Holt on one of the cases, but not on the other. Did you want Lister and Holt to represent you, or did you want to represent yourself?
I represent myself.
On both cases?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question as far as law term when it comes to driver's license.
Okay.
Okay, you're only allowed to have one driver's license, and I have an Alabama driver's license. So when I get pulled over, I actually show them my Alabama driver's license, and it's current. It's the most current, and so they make a determination if they should go off the Georgia driver's license or the Alabama driver's license. And when I present the Alabama driver's license, they let me go because my Alabama license is valid. And you're only allowed to have one. And I had Alabama license first. So
I
my
believe
Georgia
this sounds like a not guilty.
Okay. So, Mr. Resto, what Mr. Taylor is saying is this is something that you could prove at trial. If you present that information at trial, then that means you want to go to trial instead of taking a plea. I don't know what the recommendation is, and I don't know.
Well, the recommendation was, I think I've been dealing with this case for an awful long time now, so
Yeah.
I don't really want to go to trial. I just want to get it behind me. But I think that the recommendation, I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no, Mr. Resto, it's more than that. So let me explain why I know it's more than that. So the basic fines and fees for driving on a suspended license is the first time in 5 years. If you get one, then you can enter a NOLO plea if you have a NOLO plea eligible to you, and then the fine is $500. But if you get a second one, the fine goes to $1,000. A third
When collected, holding back what's probably a big eye roll. At times, it even seems like the judge is letting him control the room, which is baffling. She has all the authority here, but it's almost like she's letting him dig his own hole just to see where it goes. His arguments are completely outdated, too. He actually claims that because cars existed before driver's licenses, he shouldn't need one. That's not how laws work. Licenses exist so people know how to safely operate a vehicle, not because of when cars were invented. And here's the kicker. I'm pretty sure he ended up walking out of the hearing entirely, which
fine, it goes to $1,500 and 10 days mandatory jail time. You have a second one, which means that you might be able to enter a NOLO to the first one, but then the second one is outstanding. So when you took a plea to the second one, that would definitely suspend your license. So that's what's on the table.
Okay, now if I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. So I have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and to make sure that I treat people as the law would direct me to do so. So,
Okay. Well, I asked this question previously when I was in your courtroom one day in regards to the right to travel under the 14th Amendment, stating that citizens do not need a permit to travel with a horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile without interference by police. And I was on a public highway actually when I got pulled over. The
okay, so
highway.
that's not actually in the Constitution.
And
So
I
the
don't
right to
believe
the right
automobiles
to
were
travel.
around when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I just wanted to point out to the court that automobiles hadn't been invented when the 14th Amendment was ratified. That
Yeah,
may
it said
have been a fact.
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
So
so
an automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good. It's just a form of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's an automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage, because it's still a form of transportation, and citizens have the right to travel without interference by police. So I don't even know how the police are even allowed to interfere with travel when I'm not using my vehicle for commerce.
Your Honor,
And it's
hold
a
on, Mr.
totally
Taylor.
private household good.
Okay, so Mr. Resto, if somebody drove 100 miles an hour into the back of your vehicle and killed your a family member, would you want the police to interfere?
That's murder. I mean, that's if someone got killed.
But they're traveling. You can't interfere with somebody traveling.
May have led to a warrant being issued. All this over a fine of about $2,000, which isn't even that high considering the situation. If he just kept quiet and followed the process, he might have had a smoother outcome. That's it for this one. Do you think the judge was too patient, or should she have shut this down much earlier? I post new court moments like this daily, so stick around for more. Thanks for watching.
No, I mean you can't. It's stating that a police just can't interfere with your traveling, like pulling you over for a traffic violation or a tag.
But you
You're
want them
not.
to
You can't.
interfere if
Now,
somebody,
if you murder somebody because of
well, if,
sovereign,
okay, say you don't murder them, say you just hurt them, say you just damaged the vehicle, you don't want the police to interfere.
no, that because that's when it almost becomes like an accident or a crime or whatnot. So the police can. That's not really an interference. An interference with your traveling, not an interference when two citizens engage in an accident. It's interfering with you just traveling. Now, police officers, as far as public servants, they have a duty to serve to the people. So if a car accident occurs, then of course public servants, as far as ambulance, as far as firemen, they will come to the scene just as a service. But for you to just interfere in my traveling is actually a violation of the Constitution.
Well, sir, the Constitution and the cases that have come out of the constitutional jurisprudence allow cities and states and municipal organizations to regulate travel for the benefit of the citizens. So they can put reasonable regulations on travel, meaning you can have a license. They can grant you the privilege of having a license to drive. They can regulate how your license is seen. If you don't have a license, or if your license is suspended, they can intervene to take your license away or your privilege to drive away. It is a crime. You can be convicted of not driving under a proper license. So the government is allowed to intervene in a lot of ways with people traveling. So I'm not sure where this information comes from, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet about traveling and the 14th Amendment and horse and buggies and even maritime law. But
I mean,
an
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created. So people was actually their case pamphlets where people was actually operating vehicles before a driver's license ever became. That's actually, you guys are actually a conflict of interest, actually, as far as you being in cahoots with the DMV. That's a totally separate entity.
Okay,
And for
so
some
Mr.
reason,
Resto,